The city of Frisco has 1.1 billion in debt service, and FISD has about 3.5 billion of debt service, and both are growing. What do you recommend the council do to ease the burden on property and sales taxes and utility fees?
On all of those at one time. Okay. So, yes, we do have some debt here in Frisco. That's not an unknown situation for us. But also, if you look at the statistics over the last 10 years, our payment to debt service over the last 10 years has actually gone down by about 30%. And that is because, as far as the portion of our revenue that we're bringing in every year, and that is because we are doing so well in bringing in revenue with our sales taxes that are coming in from the retail area. And that's where we're benefiting from that area. In that, it is very difficult to go through the type of growth we're going through and expand the way we have and take care of our infrastructure and not pay for that somehow. We don't have it in the general revenue to build the roads that we need to build. So therefore, some debt is going to have to be taken on. Just like for many of us, the more that you expand in your family, the more that you expand in your revenues, you actually will take on different levels of debt accordingly and what's responsible. There's a difference for me in just random debt versus the responsible debt at that point.
Regarding the $1.6 billion, if you look at the website for Texas Transparency and Glenn Hager's website, you will see in there that it is $630 million for the city of Frisco, which is about $4,395 per person, which I was staggered. I was shocked when I did see that amount that was due and owing on that. I think whenever the city council, some recommendation that has been presented to me is that when we have bond elections, that we include not only what the amount of the bond is, which is a state mandate, the type of bond it is and what it's for, the amount, what it's for. We could be inclusive and include other information, what the actual principal and interest is going to be on there, as well as how the city is faring right now. How much are we currently in debt right now? Because a concerned citizen, you may or may not know that we were $630 million in debt, and that was in 2014. Regarding the city, if the voters vote, if we need infrastructure, if we need roads, if we need water, we have to have bonds, whether it's to build new schools because of individuals who are moving here, or to build infrastructure for businesses or individuals that are moving here. If the citizens vote for it, then we have to raise those, we have to raise the capital somewhere. So that would be my answer as far as how we would alleviate some of these problems, or at least make the voters more informed about what is actually out there on the ballot when they get ready to vote for it.
First thing we need to do is start looking at common sense solutions to attack this problem. We're in a great situation. We're in a city that's growing, that is growing at leaps and bounds, and our tax base is expanding. So we have a unique opportunity that we can go ahead and start addressing this issue. Looking at a way to start paying down our debt faster to make sure that we're spending the money that we have set aside that has already been approved by the voters and the citizens, and we spend it, in a responsible way to make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck. We need to sit down and work together at this. So the council itself needs to focus on that problem, but needs to work with the school district, because the voters and taxpayers are affected by both. So we just need to address it as soon as possible to make sure we don't kick the can down the road and be really responsible in what we do.
That's a great question. I think the council is going to need to do a number of things. One, we're going to need to really watch what we do with our bonds, and whether we're going to issue as many bonds and how many bonds we're going to do. We've done a lot of public-private partnerships, and what we're hoping is that those public-private partnerships pan out, so that we get the same kind of economic benefit from those, that it will not impact us negatively with the debt service. I think we're really going to have to watch that debt service. The combined debt between the city and the school board is becoming something that is going to become really onerous on our citizens if we're not careful. And I would love to see us actually go closer towards a rollback tax rate than the constant rate we have. Our tax rate hasn't changed in the last year. but because of property valuations, almost every citizen is paying more taxes unless they're exempted, homestead exempted.
So, having a CPA background, to me, being financially conservative and fiscally responsible is very important. We are where we are right now, but I think as we go forward, we're going to have to look at really what does the city need. And I think we also need to be a little bit more creative in finding ways to fund some of the things that we need. I will say, property taxes are growing. There were 2,300 new family permits issued last year. That's a lot of people moving to Frisco. In addition to that, property values are going up, so you know that the check you're writing gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So it's very important, but as the city grows, the other thing is the expenses of the city will also grow. So it's really a matter of managing everything properly, and as we grow, making sure that the debt doesn't increase too much, but we find a way to manage with what we do have and be conservative in that way.